Bem-vindos ao nosso espaço, um mergulho profundo nos assuntos mais interessantes de esportes, ciências e temas gerais do momento. Aqui você vai encontrar conteúdo de qualidade, com análises empolgantes e descobertas fascinantes que vão expandir seus horizontes. Nossa missão é trazer informação relevante de forma dinâmica e descontraída. Queremos que você faça parte dessa jornada incrível de conhecimento e diversão. Se gostar do nosso conteúdo, não esqueça de deixar seu like e se inscrever no canal para não perder nenhuma novidade. Ative o sininho também. Aproveite!
If you love science, don't forget to like and subscribe. For over 70 years, we have been told a specific, consistent story about how our brains work. We are taught that our nerves are like biological wires, carrying electrical impulses called action potentials from one neuron to the next. This model, known as the Hodgkin-Huxley model, earned its creators a Nobel Prize and has become the foundation of modern neuroscience. But what if this foundational story is missing a crucial piece of the puzzle? What if the signals zipping through your brain right now aren't actually electrical currents, but are instead localized sound waves known as solitons? To understand this radical shift in thinking, we first have to look at the cracks in the traditional electrical model. According to the standard view, when a nerve fires, ion channels in the cell membrane open, allowing charged particles to flow in and out. This creates a voltage change that travels down the nerve. However, there is a major thermodynamic problem with this. In a traditional electrical circuit, some energy is always lost as heat due to resistance. If our nerves worked purely on electricity, they should heat up significantly every time they fire. Yet, experimental measurements show something baffling. While a nerve does release a tiny amount of heat when a pulse starts, it reabsorbs almost all of that heat immediately afterward. This suggests a process that is adiabatic, meaning it happens without a net loss of energy. Electricity simply doesn't behave this way, but sound waves do. In the early 2000s, physicists Thomas Heimberg and Andrew Jackson proposed a new framework, the Soliton model. They argued that nerve pulses are not electrical currents, but mechanical density pulses. To visualize this, think of a soliton as a special kind of wave, like a tsunami in the open ocean, that travels long distances without losing its shape or intensity. In the context of a nerve, this wave travels through the lipid bilayer, the fatty outer shell of the nerve cell. These lipids aren't just static containers. They exist in a state close to a phase transition, somewhere between a liquid and a solid gel. When a nerve fires, the soliton pulse momentarily compresses these lipids, turning them from a liquid state into a more solid, crystalline state. As the wave passes, they melt back into a liquid. This mechanical squeeze is what actually carries the information. This theory explains the heat mystery perfectly. When the lipids compress, they release heat, but when they expand back into their liquid state, they absorb that heat back. The net energy loss is zero. Furthermore, researchers have observed that nerves actually change their physical shape when they fire. They expand and contract slightly, a phenomenon called swelling, that the electrical model struggles to explain but the acoustic model predicts perfectly. If the signal were purely electrical, there would be no reason for the physical structure of the nerve to ripple like a vibrating guitar string. Perhaps the most fascinating support for the soliton nerve theory comes from the world of anesthesiology. For over a century, doctors have used gases like xenon or ether to knock patients unconscious, but we still don't fully understand how they work. Curiously, many of these gases have no chemical similarity to each other. However, they do share one physical property: they change the melting point of lipids. According to the Soliton model, anesthesia works by shifting the phase transition point of the nerve membrane so high that a sound wave can no longer form. It essentially muffles the ability of the nerve to carry the acoustic pulse of a thought. If the brain were purely electrical, these lipid-altering gases shouldn't have such a universal effect on consciousness. If this theory is correct, it redefines the very nature of human thought. Instead of a digital computer made of wires, the brain might be more like a biological instrument, vibrating with complex frequencies. This would mean that thinking is less about moving electrons and more about the orchestration of mechanical rhythms across a vast network of membranes. It suggests that our consciousness is rooted in the physics of sound and pressure, bridging the gap between biology and classical mechanics in a way we never anticipated. While the Hodgkin-Huxley model remains the dominant paradigm in textbooks, the Soliton Nerve theory is gaining traction among biophysicists who seek a more complete thermodynamic picture of the human body. It reminds us that even in fields we consider settled, there is always room for a radical new perspective that could change everything we know about ourselves. We are not just sparks of electricity, we may be a symphony of silent sound waves, echoing through the intricate architecture of our own minds. For more incredible facts like this, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications.